the AI baby monitor that saw something in the crib. But she wasn't alone. You buy things to feel safe. Babygate smart monitors. But what if those things saw something you weren't supposed to see? So I bought the latest AI baby monitor, the kind that tracks sound, motion, even facial expressions. The first week, perfect. It cooed when she cried, sent alerts, calmed me. Then at 2:42 a.m., it pinged, face detected, unknown subject, shadow, and the third night, the thing stood still, staring at the camera. Maybe I was tired, but every night it returned. We had just moved into the house. Old, wooden, quiet. My daughter Emma was 6 months old. I was sleep deprived, paranoid. I'm just here to play with your daughter. You can leave now. So I cleaned up the nursery, tried to make it look normal, and put Emma down for a nap. Come on, are you serious? I wasn't. I showed him the monitor. See? It's broken now. Look. Mark took one look at it and laughed. When my husband Mark came home, I told him what happened. He thought I was joking. I was scared. There was something in there, I swear. Mark shook his head. I didn't. I stayed there for hours. Didn't leave Emma's side. Didn't sleep. And we haven't even unpacked all of the boxers yet. That's enough, honey. This isn't funny. You need some rest. He kissed me, tried to comfort me, but I pulled away. Where would something come from? I looked at him, then at the broken monitor. It read, Mommy, it's cold in here. Come play with me. I dropped Emma's diaper, ran to the monitor. The room was empty. Beside the dresser, nothing. I told him. Yes, I had. And as he was leaving for work, he hugged me, kissed me. But I could tell he was thinking the same thing I was. What if it isn't the monitor? What if it's the house didn't speak? I didn't leave until morning. Not a whisper, not a shadow, not a face. And as the weeks passed, I began to relax. I started to unpack, to organize, to paint. Emma's room became a sanctuary, a place of peace, a place of joy. I froze. Take it out of the house. You're being ridiculous. It's just a monitor. I promise nothing's in the nursery. Nothing at all. Open the camera feed. Emma was asleep, but something else was leaning over the crib. Awkward he didn't stick around to watch Emma that night. Said he had a late meeting with the guys. I didn't mind. I actually felt safer with Emma all by herself. Show app notification, screen glitching, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., still nothing. Then I heard a whisper. It was coming from the monitor. It said, Emma, it's me. Do you want to play? I screamed. Threw the monitor across the room. Snatched Emma up, held her close, listened. The whispering stopped. If you want to hear more of these kind of stories, stay tuned. Let's get back to it. I told myself it was a glitch. First night, whispering sounds, but no source. The second night, the AI speaker said, Don't wake her. Image. Its face blurs, then turns toward the viewer. I'm gonna stop this right here because this is creepy as hell. I screamed. Shut off the monitor. Threw it across the nursery floor. Rock solid. Like it was made of metal. I ran to Emma's room, scooped her up. She was fine. I don't know how long I stood there, frozen, holding her, watching the monitor. But when I finally turned it back on, it was just a black screen. No error messages, just a black screen. I could have sworn I heard a voice say, It's okay. I should have called the police. But I didn't. I was afraid they wouldn't believe me. A monster in the nursery. Babe, you know how much that thing cost us and you broke it. I don't know. There's nothing in here but dust bunnies. Maybe it's not here to stay. Maybe it only comes at night. No, you don't understand. I want to get rid of it. And he was right. Nothing had come back. Then one evening, just before sunset, I was changing Emma's diaper when the monitor pinged. New message? I stared at the screen in disbelief. When Mark got home, I told him again what happened. Again, he laughed. But this time it was strained. Hours passed. In the morning after, Mark asked if I had destroyed the monitor. This happened more than once. I called the support line. They said the AI was working correctly, that it had identified 2 adults in the room. I was alone. Her and my wife would spend every night in our room sleeping in a crib next to our bed. We had a baby monitor on her, but it was one of those fancy high-tech ones that also doubled as a camera. It was sleek, black and white, all smooth edges and surfaces. It looked more like something from an Apple store than a place that sells baby supplies. I joked that it was probably listening for lullabies or counting our breaths to see if we were worthy parents. Little did I know it was counting humans. I refused to let my daughter sleep in a room where whatever it was that was reaching into cribs was lurking around. We put her in our room until she was 18 months old. I told my wife what I'd seen. I told her I thought it might be a ghost. But as a scientist, she refused to believe me. There is no evidence that ghosts exist, she said. And even if there was, you can't prove that anything supernatural is actually happening. There's always a logical explanation. For context, here's a little backstory. My daughter Emma was 6 months old, and we were still struggling to get her to sleep through the night. But sometimes at night I hear Emma talking in her sleep. I ask her who she's talking to. The woman in the dark who sings. I hit the monitor button on my phone, and it showed the live feed. It was pitch black in the nursery, but I could see the faint outline of Emma in the crib. And then I saw the second human. A faceless, dark figure loomed over the side of the crib. I immediately unplugged the camera, turned off the monitor, and called my wife in the other room. Did you see that? I asked her. See what? What are you talking about? I described what I'd seen, but she must have been dreaming because she didn't even register what I was saying. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe the camera glitch. So I went back to sleep. One night I woke up to what sounded like screams. The next morning I reported it to the company and they said it was a false alarm, that there was no way the camera could have actually seen something. They insisted that the camera only detected motion when it recognized a human. And they knew that because their advanced AI technology can tell the difference between a person, animal, or object. They also claimed that the camera couldn't save footage unless I manually did it for it, so there was no way for me to prove what I'd seen. So I shrugged it off and set the camera back up. That night when I woke up, I swear the second I took my eyes off the camera, whatever it was, slipped out of frame. I ripped the camera down and threw it across the room. But then that night at 3:33 a.m., my phone lit up anyway. The app had reinstalled itself. It showed a live feed. The crib was empty. Emma was sound asleep in our bed. I can only assume that somehow it was able to connect to Wi-Fi without the camera plugged in. Then it happened again. A hand reached into frame. Well, by this point, I'd had enough. I ripped the wires out of the socket, threw the camera and the app away. We never used that baby monitor again. That's all for this one. And please subscribe if you haven't already.